Bet you didn't see me coming. I don't know what I was doing there. Um, Welcome to another one of my Vinyl Then Code live streams. Also, I'm currently rewatching me jump scaring the live stream, and I realized that I messed up because my camera is delayed, and I thought it froze, and I wasn't in frame yet, and so I don't know, I just messed that up. Anyways, welcome back to another one of my Vinyl Then Code live streams. Today I'll be working on Rule1A Incremental, which is the game I've been working on for the past few months. And this is a pre-release stream since I'll be releasing it on Android tomorrow. Well, that's if Google Play reviews it in time, so we'll see about that. So I'll be working on that, and today I'll be reviewing this album right here, Tempel. Firstly, I need to do some live stream advertising, so I just need to hop on Discord real quick and get that all sorted, and then I can get started. Let's see. Okay, let's post it. Ah, okay. I forget. I'm looking at the wrong place. Okay. Oh, I can't. I'm not sharing my screen. Social. Vinyl Then Code right here, right now. Okay. Send. Booyah. What in the heck? Why does my live stream not have a title in the embed? Hold on, I need to make sure I didn't mess this up. Oh, okay, it works. Okay, I need to do one last thing. Share link. Here we go. Okay, boom. Let's get started finally. And let me just turn on my light real quick because it's a little dim, and I have the worst camera ever. And I look really grainy for some reason. Looks like I'm sitting in like a nuclear bunker or something. There's just radiation everywhere. Okay. Anyways, let's get this started. Today I'm going to be listening to Tempel. This is the self-titled debut of Krautrocker. Well, this is one of the krautrock bands of all time, and it makes sense given that it was released in 1971, which is very early in the first wave of krautrock. And this album in particular is very important to this genre because it kind of builds on a lot of the foundation of how krautrock is styled and how it influenced other forms of psychedelic and progressive rock. So really cool stuff. I would show you the cover, or show you the insides, but it's a little odd, to say the least. I guess I can just do, I don't know. I want to cover at least some of it, because some of it's not really too appropriate to show on camera. But that's what it looks like. It's a gatefold or trifold, whatever. One of my least favorite formats because you can bend it and it just does this, and I don't know. Protective sleeves exist for this reason, but I kind of wish this was not a gatefold because I just think it looks kind of ugly. And it's when the cover is split like this, it just looks, I don't know, I don't like it. When I was buying it, I wasn't expecting it to be the gatefold, but anyways, here's the back. It's all in German. I don't know anything. I could probably pick up a few words. I'm pretty sure that's saying it was recorded in March 1971. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, it's two songs. You have Amboss, wrong finger, Amboss on side one, and then Trauma Shine on side two. This one's the more Berlin School, more ambient style, and then the first one is like the most krautrock of them. Okay. Anyways, that's the album. And this album is also important along the lines of Kraftwerk's debut album as well. This one came out in 1970, and so this was before Ashra Temple, but this right here is like the building foundation of modern electronic music. So also another very important piece. However, it's not the birth of krautrock. Without showing this one here. I can't really show the cover here as well, but it's Amandul Underground or Psychedelic Underground. This one was actually recorded in 1969, so this is deemed to be probably the first krautrock record ever. Instead of the same band has a different record under their name Amandul 2, but this one's a little more unknown and kind of more experimental, kind of crazy looking, crazy sounding. Not the greatest listening experience, so that's why I'm not playing this one today, but I thought I'd just mention some of the krautrock context. So anyways, those are my little vinyls I wanted to talk about. I'm going to start playing it, and then we can get to work. I need to... Hold on. I'm very sorry, that was really loud. Easy. A lot of this is a little quiet because it's just a mellow drone, and it doesn't get loud till we hear the actual rock portions of it. But okay, let's switch screens. Okay, so I have some critical things I need to fix. I won't be able to get them in the last patch before game release, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna have to fix those and then Hail Mary them afterwards. Yeah, see, it's still in review, which is a little annoying. But whatever. We'll just play by ear. Okay, I'm in the demo branch, aren't I? Let's see, is my music... I haven't played on speakers in a long time. I usually play on stream, so let's see if I can even hear this. I don't even know if the music can be played in the background. Okay. Okay, I need to stop screwing around and get started. Okay. So the first thing I want to get working on is fix settings dialog. Try printing settings data to console and see what happens when you open close the dialog and changing a field. Okay, let's just pull it. Actually, I need to... Also, it is incredibly windy outside, so I might get really distracted today. Okay. Settings dialog. So none of these are working pretty much, except for the saving options. So none of these drop downs are working. So if I were to run this, let's see, how loud is it now? Okay. So if I were to select a padding 32, it sets it, but when I reopen it, it sets it back to 0, but it's 32 is still selected, which is really weird. But then if I open it back up, it gets set back to 0. It should stay at 32. Because now when I try to set 32 on the bottom switch, and then it just keeps canceling out. I don't know why. Okay, hold on, I want to get this. The drums don't sound good at all. That works. Okay. So let's figure out why this isn't working. So when I build the UI view, and then all of the drop downs, I give it an initial ID of whatever this is. So the one I want to fix is the padding, but I want to get, okay, let's see. If I switch to 15 FPS and then reopen it, it switches, oh, yeah, it gets out of 15 FPS. And then it gets reset back to unlimited. Yeah, so it keeps getting set back to 0. Okay. Let's see what that is. Okay, and if I have my log. Okay, building resolution drop down with, oh, it's the wrong one. Okay, another thing I'm going to check to see if this unique ID keeps getting reset. If that's the case, then that means this settings instance isn't, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on at this point. I'm trying to figure it out too. Okay, so we have an ID of FE25. Okay, so it's the same data instance. It just keeps resetting it back to unlimited, 15 FPS. Yeah. Okay, wait a second. Setting target frame rate to -1 based on settings? See, it gets set twice. So okay, hold on. This log is annoying. Okay, so it gets set to unlimited, 15 FPS, clear, reopen, ID, FPS to selected frame rate 0. Okay, so our frame rate mode producer is FPS 15. We set the override initial ID. What's the new value? Current ID. Okay, what does this do? We set the initial ID to that. So if the initial ID of this is going to be 1, we set the initial ID to 1, selected producer is equal to 1. Oh, wait, I think I see what's going on here. So we get our current ID from... So we have two different structs. We have two different shockers. Current ID... So what's this one? So I get the current ID value from this one, but what does this one even do? Okay, so I set the value to the initial ID. So at that point, it should still be... Okay, I'm just going to add some more logs. This should still be 1. And also, it keeps loading the default target frame rate too. Watch how all of these are going to be null. That will be so lovely. Creeper King, what's up? Okay, init ID 2. Okay, so at this time it says it's FPS unlimited. If I switch it to 50 FPS and clear it. Okay, so the init is 1. Oh, but it gets init after it gets selected. Huh? Okay, so that's problem 1. It sets the initial ID after it gets selected. So it's always defaulting to 0. But if I were to play it, let's see if my second problem is correct. Or my second assumption is correct. If all of them are null, then okay. So this is kind of as I expected. This one is null. So the UI frame rate mode is null. Oh, I see it. I have the wrong property name. Okay, so my frame rate should not be null anymore, which is good. And in that case, when I close the dialog, it should save. Okay, so I'm going to set this to 15, clear it, but if I go back, it's going to say unlimited. Okay, oh, wait, it still says 15 FPS. Oh, never mind. Okay, 15 FPS. I'm going to let the game save. Actually, I'm going to set it again, save the game, and then I'm going to reload it, and it should still be in 15 FPS. Am I still in 15 FPS? No, I'm back in 30. Okay, well this live, why is it 60 FPS? Okay, that's interesting. 60 FPS, 60. Okay, so it loads. Reset. Decompiling Unity projects. Where'd you get that from? Oh, are you talking about like inspecting like the packages? Like I am right now? Like the private read-only packages? I didn't think decompiling them would... Oh, decompiling whole Unity projects. Okay, never mind. I misread what you said. Yeah. That's because of, well, let's see. I know my game isn't Mono, it's IL2 CPP. Um, I'm guessing, well, yeah, I think you can with IL2CPP, but it's really hard. Um, and I think there's at least some form of, um, what's the process called? I don't want to say serialization, but I know it's something that makes it kind of scrambles the DLLs that it produces at some point, or the C++. Well, I know the C++ code that it generates in the first place is really just horrifying to look at. So I know that for a fact. Okay, so I'm gonna change 32. Ah, yes, obfuscation. Yes, that's what it's called. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so I just confirmed you can't hear the music in the background. That's pretty baller. What was I doing? I was gonna refresh something and I forgot. Oh, that's right. Testing a padding setting. Let's see. Oh, does it load? No, the UI doesn't load. And it doesn't even save either. Huh. There is something really funky going on with my save system. I don't know what it is. Okay, so I have... So the struct is serializable, opt-in, JSON property, serialize field, T, where T is a struct, and then enum, where T is a struct. This used to work just fine. This makes no sense. Okay, I also want to test these checkboxes because I know some aren't working. Manual save. And then doing UI in Unity is great. What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's so nice. Well, I've also made it nice because I'm using my own library, so that's another thing. My slogan for my library would be make Unity UI fun again. Because that's my goal. For like, actually, that's my goal is to make it fun to make UI. because I hate their UI system, but I've done everything. Actually, I've made most things in this. So I still use some of Unity's library, of course, for like text and scroll recs, whatever, but a lot of my UI is just a wrapper. It makes it better. I didn't even look at my setting. Okay, so false, 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 false. So these all get loaded in as false. And they're all disabled. But if I were to check all of these... Oh. Wait, what? Do you see what's going on here? What is this? That is... Okay, that was a weird little state thing that was going on there. Why is it doing that? That is so weird. Even my default settings aren't even... Okay, show glows. I guess first thing, I want to figure out why... Oh, I still have the first problem to solve. When I add configs, it just adds them, and then listen for select overview initial ID. Does this trigger it? It shouldn't send an invoke. Building UI with the following options: ID, FPS unlimited. Okay, handle value selected. We set the current ID and the select producer. Oh, we set the config version too. And then we send shocks. Why do I have two? Oh, I see. Okay, so the drop down is what spawns. Toggle open drop down, handle value select, on object select. Build object on select. Okay, first thing, I'm still relying on the old API. I need to change this. This is bad. Goodbye. I don't need another producer. Goodbye. I could rely on the Ooh, that's actually a great idea. Rely on the thing that won't get destroyed. And the drop-down component definitely will. Well, actually, does the drop-down input, does it hold it? Drop-down input. Yes. So the drop-down itself is a spawnable pop-up, and it's going to take the config that we pass it in. I throw a new exception. That can't be null. I guess I am. Da, da, da. Okay, what am I doing? I am... Do I even use this? React radio button. Okay, so do I even need this value? Nope. See ya. Down, add, select, for change. Oh, actually, we don't want to subscribe here. Listen for select. So right now I have 3 sources of truth. I only need 1. I have this struct that I need to get rid of, and then I can only rely on this config because it will have a persistent shock struct, so everything will notify when it gets changed. I can't run this yet. And then I'm just gonna remove all this junk. This is also junk I can get rid of. I have a better, let's see. Add on-click subscription, receive config ID. I don't like this at all. This doesn't need to be called at all. This can be deleted, that can be deleted. So we tell the configuration, okay, handle this selection, and then the producer is going to get the new view ID, and everyone will know about it. So that means I can get rid of this. and the current ID is equivalent to I guess config dot selected ID, and we'll know what the current item is. Select producer. So we're even using the config as the source of truth already. I don't know why I had one in 3 different places. Okay, see, I even have I'm copying all the config into this guy. I don't know why I'm copying configuration in 2 different places when I only need it in 1. So I can get rid of that. And when I click I see, I have another thing that I need to do. What's the interface? My builder config. Yeah, this is for my new game. I am trying to fix some settings that I have, such as disabling notifications and changing how the game looks. Currently, when you change it in game, it doesn't save. So here I can show. It's getting tribal in here. So, like my frame rate, I have it set to 30 frames per second, but if I were to change it to 15, the game runs noticeably slower. It's a little hard to pick up that on stream. But when I reopen this dialog, it gets reset back to 60, I think? -1, so basically unlimited. So when I close this again and reopen it, it says unlimited. So I'm basically trying to fix that, because if for some reason someone was on a phone and they had that stupid little notch that's on the top screen, usually I can simulate it, but I don't think I have that. When that notch is in the way here, you kind of want some of that extra screen space. So one thing you would do is go into the padding section and then add some padding to your screen, which basically kind of just shrinks it, so you get that little notch out of the way so you can see the full screen. And so I can just do that too. I can even just make it really skinny if I wanted to. And the game looks like this. So like there's that border around the game, kind of adapts to different screen sizes. But if I were to reopen this again, it gets reset. So I don't know why that's happening yet. I'm trying to fix it. The game release people are just gonna have to suck it up because I don't think Google is gonna be reviewing this anytime soon, unfortunately, which sucks. Because I started this morning, and so now they're just stuck in a review. So, save issues ever again. Mine is not a save problem, it's... Oh well, actually it kind of is. Some of it is a save problem. Like, why are all of my checkboxes returning to, like, getting unchecked? That's definitely a save problem, but everything else is just me being it's just my UI being silly. It is coming out this week, yeah. It's coming out tomorrow, but that's if Google approves it in time, so we'll see. I really hope so. They've been really quick with me in the past, but I haven't published anything in so long, so it's gonna take, like, I don't know. it can take from a day or up to 2 weeks, which that would be completely ridiculous. And if my game was 2 weeks late, that would be really bad. um, but I also opened up a support ticket to hopefully escalate the issue. I don't think that's going to do anything, but because they're also going to take a few days to respond to that. So, okay, so builder config, and then in the what the hell is that? Build config. Okay, so for my build, I don't have oh, that could also be a problem. So how my UI updates over time is through these producers and receivers. Basically, the producer holds a data, such as like a number or a text, and whenever it changes, it lets all of the receivers know, hey, there was a change. I want you to handle this somehow. Whether that being changing the color of a picture or updating the actual text itself in game. So the problem I'm running into now is that if I don't have an attached object, I think it's... I don't want to jump to conclusions here, but if I don't have an attached object, is it even able to notify? Can coroutine, which by default is null. It's not null, maybe. Yeah, it should be null. Okay, so if we can't coroutine, it's going to handle shock. And this is where it notifies all of the subscriptions that this change occurred. I barely tried Godot. I opened it once probably, and that's about it. I don't really have an interest of using it because I'm so good at Unity, and it's like, why should I switch to something that I don't really am? Trying new things, sure, that'd be nice, but I don't want to switch to a new editor if I'm so... And plus, like, all of this UI stuff, I'm building specifically for Unity, so it'd be really stupid for me to move off of it. And I wouldn't want to do any migrations for that either, because I've done a migration millions and millions of times, and it's not quite worth it. But I don't know. Maybe if I ever had the opportunity to make something silly in Godot, I'll give it a try. But at where I'm currently at right now, I don't have any time to do that. Yeah. Well, Godot is also open source, so it kind of makes sense that there's more components to work with. Unity's UI library is pretty meh. But I feel like if you know the fundamentals of Unity, you can use it to do anything, pretty much, and just remake your own components. Okay. So I don't need to attach an object, really. But maybe I should. So I'm attaching the root instance, which is basically always going to be active, because if it wasn't, then you can't play the game. So we at least have one source of something that can, one source of existence, I guess, that will allow us to append UI changes after that current frame is over, so we don't have any weird like layout issues. And then for the start config, we do select absorber. init. Do I have one for the producer? Init. No. And so the select absorber needs with selector selected ID. Okay, so now I can use the receiver if I wanted to. Which is actually exactly what I need because I subscribe to listen for select everywhere. But I don't think I've ever updated this value properly. So this should fix all of my problems. Hopefully. Oh, it's one script per object. So I guess you define all of the... I guess they're more... I think from the screenshots you've sent me in the past, it's mostly attributes, right? So very attribute driven, C#. It's C#, right? I'm pretty sure it is C#. Yeah. Okay, also another thing, so I have all of my UI stuff in packages now, which is really nice because I can basically work on multiple games at once if I'm fixing UI. So I have all of these modules. So I have the core, which is just the core UI, and I need to push an update. Oh wait, actually I'm not done yet. I still have errors to resolve. Okay. So the config is good. When I add the config, I also need to call build object. Config, build config. And then start config and destroy. My neighbors are loud, but that's probably because I'm playing music, so win some, you lose some. Close button, and then on destroy. Spawn item, receive, handle select. Okay, so I guess this is also another thing. I show this toast notification every time I make an adjustment to the setting, which tells me, I've noticed that every time I make a change, it always works, or at least it displays correctly. Let me see if I can reproduce this. So like if I were to select 120, it's going to show selected 120. So I know that the selection itself is good. It's just how I was handling it that was broken. I don't think I need that anymore. And this is junk. Okay, so the drop down itself is good, and now for the field, I got rid of that. Yes, okay, so handle value selected. Which, I don't know why I'm doing this. Why am I resetting the value? I don't even think I need to do that. Wait, toggle button, open drop down, on select. Oh, okay, I have more errors to fix. Okay, so this is just build, and then add config, and then I don't need this on select anymore, because that's going to be a part of the config. Listen for select. Okay, so I get rid of that, and that means I don't need... Okay, I see why I had this here. So I'd make the config... add drop down config. Yep. What in the fuck is going on? Okay. So why do I have this? Do I even toggle drop down? Close and null. I don't think I need this. Toggle on, drop down. And maybe I can just add to this config, listen for select, and then actually bring that back. Hold up. Handle value selected, we set the drop down to null. Okay, no more errors. Let's give this a shot. Yeah, I hope this fix works too. It would be great because this is pretty crucial, and I broke this during my initial migration, so I at least know it's not just a freak chance that this started breaking. Okay, so I pushed the commit and I can update it in the package manager. That will take a second. GD script is the built-in. It has a C# version. Okay. Man, that reminds me when Unity had Unity script at some point. Excuse me. It was like the JavaScript. Let's see, Java. Unity script, JavaScript. I'm trying to like. Yeah. This is a really garbage screenshot. But I remember having to code in JavaScript, and that was awful. And Godot also has a theme system where you can apply a theme to a root and it gets propagated down. This allows one source of truth. That's pretty cool. My only complaint is that that's lazy. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too traditional, but I like doing things the hard way too, so. Okay, let's see. Does this work? Please. 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 15 FPS. No! It gets reset. Okay. So it doesn't even do anything now. Do I have an error to deal with? Could that be why? Select UI framework. So we're adding it to the config like we were before. And so when we select something, it should propagate. I hope one day I can just show you around this archipelago text client I made in Godot. You should send me some screenshots. I'd like to check it out. Okay, so that didn't work. Holy shot. Okay, so it's not even updating now. It's... Wait, if I open it, why when I open it, it selects it again? Okay, so the UI frame mode receiver is not updating. Which connects the producer, and the value is the current frame rate mode. So this receiver is not getting updated, which means I don't think this is getting called. Okay, selected frame rate unlimited. So it's still trying to override that. Okay. Yeah, so this isn't even getting called anymore. Okay, UI frame rate drop down, start. Oh, wait. Who is calling build config? Okay, so the drop-down component itself is calling build config. That's not good. Which means if I keep reopening the dialog, it's going to keep initiating with the current value. And the only reason why it's only showing that message once is because I have it so that when it tries to set the same value, it doesn't update the UI because there's nothing to update. However, this is working against me because it's not changing anything in the background, so it's completely stuck on whatever it decides to pick, which happens to be 30 FPS. So in this case, I just have to move this. So only one thing can really open the drop-downs, and that's this input field. So really, the only one responsible should be this guy. So I can just move these. Oh, and also I guess maybe it's because whenever I close the dialog, it's destroying the config and it's not rebuilding. Maybe. Well, I guess. Or maybe it's destroying and rebuilding itself. Either or. I guess when I close the dialog and reopen it, the entire state gets refreshed. So I think it gets destroyed until I close the dialog. And so when I move it to these methods, I should be able to just do exactly what I did before. What was your favorite thing to do when making this game? Favorite thing to do when making this game? Like while I'm making it, or like what was my favorite thing about making this game? Oh, you have your own drop down. That's funny. Godot has an option button. Well, yeah, I guess it is my own drop down. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I didn't like Unity's drop down. I didn't like how I didn't have any control over how I spawned it, but now I do because I just put it on top of a layover. So I have this dialog canvas, and then it's just thrown on top of everything, and it spawns. It's supposed to spawn under. Sometimes it picks a corner and just throws it there. But yeah, basically my drop downs are just a list of buttons, and I made the list too. So a lot of this I've done just from. Oh, actually no, I didn't make the list. That's wrong. That's a scroll rect from Unity. So some of it's native. It could be programming or anything. What was the thing you had the most fun in the process of making it? Yeah. I love making the UI. I think it's really fun when it all works out, and when you create all these animations, you know, you can see like this dialogue pop open and out, and you know, just clicking around and just I don't know, just I love creating the UI part of it, and programming is more specific. Because there's different types of programming that I've done in the past while making this game, and one is writing new code. I will say writing new code is not as fun as modifying the existing code and making it look prettier. There's just something about that that makes my brain really happy when I make things a little more organized. That's just my OCD speaking, but probably just building the UI itself and you know making it look pretty and colorful, um, and then you know making the fixes and improving it in the long run. And also designing it too. Designing is a little fun too. I've gotten better at that since my full-time job too. So I kind of know how to build pretty good UIs at this point too. So yeah, there's a lot of fun things and there's a lot of not so fun things. And one of the not so fun things is actually playtesting because I would have to playtest the game several times and it gets really exhausting playing your own game a million times. So when it's your first playthrough though, however, it's a lot of fun. But when you have to play it 10 times, then it gets really exhausting. So like yesterday, I was trying to beat the game, but I kept accidentally destroying my game save in the process. So I would have to delete my save and then restart and try to catch back up. And just doing that over and over again gets really exhausting sometimes. But I think number one thing is design. I love designing the game. It's really fun. Yeah. But when I'm just passively playing it like on my phone though, that's a different story. It's more fun when I'm playing it to play it and not to test it or to balance and change the numbers. Playing it just to play it is where it's really fun. Okay, so I moved the config destruction and the state management to the input field. Let's try this. Take two. So I'm out of coffee. It's quite tragic. I might need to make some more. I also need to make dinner at some point. I've been streaming for about hour and 10 minutes. So maybe I will stream for a little longer, take a break, cook dinner, and then come back later. Oh, that's right. Update. Do I have any other things to update? Shock. Whoa. Save corruption is annoying. Indeed. That's been honestly my biggest problem with all of my games is having my saves get corrupted out of nowhere. And I really wanted to get cloud saving implemented before Android release, but I just didn't have enough time to do it. And yeah, the infrastructure for it is not ready. So I think when I do the Steam release is when I need to get cloud going, especially with Steam Cloud, which that's going to be really fun to work with. And achievements. Oh my goodness, I don't even have an achievement in here, or achievements at all. I need to add those, because I know people love achievements. Okay, let's see, does this work? Okay, it changes, but if I go back, it saves! Okay. Unlimited. Does the FPS save? Oh, it works! Nice. Okay, so that's problem one solved. I fixed the drop downs itself. The check buttons, I don't think they're fixed yet. But the next test is to make sure that it loads when I reload the game. All right, sounds good. Thank you for stopping by. And I hope to see you soon too. Okay. No, it doesn't save. No. Okay, so we got problem one solved. The dialogue itself is fixed, but now the game data isn't loading. See all of these PX zeros, that's the padding. They're all set to 0, so they're not loading. And okay. So the settings data itself in general, nothing about it is saving. None of it. So somewhere that's containing the settings data is not loading it properly. So we have settings data. It's a JSON property. And yep. Okay, that's actually interesting. Let's try something. Let's see. Why is well? What is the settings object itself load? Is it null every time? Like, why is it? Because if it's null, it's going to try to set everything to the default, which I did notice I was seeing some FPS 60s, and that makes me think that it's not even pulling in the settings data from the core data object. Okay, settings. Yeah. All of the JSON constructor properties or arguments match. Oh, that's cool. That's another thing. Unity's rich text fucking blows. It's so bad. Text Mesh Pro is cool, but it's still outdated. Like, it's supposed to be new and high tech, but it's still lacking in my opinion. I want to treat it like an HTML rich text field, but it doesn't feel like it. It's got like barely any support of like simple HTML syntax. And I know there's like the new UI elements, but I don't know. I don't want to try the Unity's new UI system. I'm so adapt to the original OG. I'd rather not switch over to that. But I know with the UI, the new UI, you can do everything with CSS classes, which is great. I love CSS. However, I don't want to migrate to that too. Okay, so settings, where is my breakpoint? Okay. Oh, sick. Yeah, in here you got to build your own tables, and it's such a process. I had tables working in auto research too, and then I discovered a really freaking broken, like actual crash breaking, game breaking bug with Text Mesh Pro, where if you had word wrapping enabled and you had a hyphen and your text width was at 0, it would just get stuck in an infinite loop because I was trying to recalculate the hyphen. It doesn't know how to handle it for some reason. It doesn't know how to split it. And so it would just lead to you crashing. So whenever it's 0 or around that size, whenever I guess the width is less than the size of the characters when it fails, it just freezes Unity. It's so ridiculous. I remember I'd be working on like a Unity table, not a Unity table, but I'd be working on like a layout element for like with all the for my tables, which contain the text, and it would just break whenever it got too small because I was trying to auto resize some things. Okay, what am I reading? This is the localization service. Okay, settings data has nothing. It's all dead. What's the ID? 654E9? 654E9, 654E9, 654E9. It's a different ID! Unless that's intended. Because I still have to go to validate, which creates the new GUID. So the GUID gets replaced anyways. Okay. That doesn't answer anything at all. Okay, so that's the previous ID. Okay. And then we load the data. Yeah, we have our members. Okay, yeah, we have our value. And then... What? It didn't even go here. Huh? wrong spot, aren't I? Yeah, that makes sense. Also, I don't have any music playing. But it's been quiet. My neighbors have been quiet since I stopped playing music. So do I play more music on the speakers? Uses a dead. Oh, that's good. I know Unity is actually moving that towards that direction, which is amazing. They finally they've needed to do that for so long. It's ridiculous combining the 2D and 3D render pipelines. It's just ridiculous. But they're finally moving away for it. And I would totally think that Unity would be so much more successful if it catered towards software developers as well, instead of just assuming everyone's a AAA 3D or AAA company making another 3D game. I feel like there's a lot of good use for 2D stuff too. Just combining them is just really strange. Simplicity, I guess, but all right. Sometimes I just forget what I'm doing. Wait, is it frozen? Oh, I'm in debug. Silly me. Okay, so then the UI, the GUID is, that's not the right GUID. The GUID for the settings is E217. 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 It's still different. Okay, well this is lovely. Lovely. Something is clearing the instance. Maybe. Allegedly. So we're just going to constantly print it and see if it changes. Okay, so this... Okay, so they're pointing to the same ID. Okay, so what happens when I start the object, though? Classic garbage debugging. All right, let's see the evolution of this. the ID is the same. If it's the same, then why is it not saving? Like everything, like another thing is that I have another flag that checks to see if you've had this up or closed it, and it saves right after you close it, but when you reload it, it's just going to keep showing the dialogue too. So something with the booleans, it's the enums and the booleans that aren't saving. But why would it be that? Why would that be the case? Alright, I'm gonna play some music. Yes. Okay. Iskotan, where are you at? 4 divisions. Iskotan, there you are. Yes. Let's see. I don't even know what C# they're on right now. I know that they're moving towards .NET 10 in a different update. Let's see. How's this audio? I know that they're moving towards... Okay, yeah, that's really loud. .NET 10 in a different update. But yeah, I at least that's what the that's what this message is about. Path to core CLR. Which I guess supports .NET 10, so that's pretty hype. I'm pretty excited for that. Still using .NET. Actually, I use .NET 10 now, do I? For personal stuff. I think I do. That's good. Yeah, Unity needs to get on that. There's so many freaking later C# stuff that I use in like my non-Unity projects, and it's really hard to adjust each. Oh my god, that is really freaking loud. Yeah, 10 is latest. If my music's too loud, let me know, because I have no idea. I have no way to check it. I don't know how to actually like look at these levels and know if it's too loud or not. Yeah, at work I was on a team that was pretty much only framework 475 and 472, either one of those versions. And I was like, guys, come on, let's update to core. We'll resolve so many of the package problems that we run into. And yeah, now on my current team, we use .NET 8. We haven't upgraded to 10 because there's policy for how update we should, or how new things should be. We try to stay on LTS as long as we can because upgrading is usually a lot of work for enterprise. Okay, so if the ID isn't... Well, hold on, let's check another thing. What? Okay, shown in dialog, shown info dialog. False. True? Pick a lane. I bet if I switch this Boolean flag to an integer, it might work. I just don't want to do that. See, like, why is it false? I set it to true. Okay, if I hit close, true, but it gets reset to false. I don't understand why. So let's experiment, shall we? So shown info dialog override. Oh my god, crypto clickers. Well, I wanted to eventually upgrade it to with Bolt, so yeah, and I think I did give you the permission, but if I were to ever remake it in Bolt, I will still probably do that at some point. But I also need to remake Idle Research and a bunch of other stuff. Someone even I think someone wanted to make it in Roblox too. I don't even know if that ever happened. It would be cool seeing crypto clickers in Roblox, but I don't know how it would work. Because I'm not switching to Godot! What enough? Yeah, bro. Well, I normally work 40 hours a week at my job, but then I have also worked probably about 40 to 60 hours a week on my own stuff too. I'm so freaking busy. And I have so many projects to finish too. So I'm just, part of me wishes I was unemployed so I could have more time to do this stuff, but I love my job, so I wouldn't do that. I would have never. Okay, so with this logic, shown info producer equals true, we're going to also set the value to 1. Okay, and then in our Sparky main, we're going to get the value of this. And I swear if the integer works, but not the Boolean, then I'm going to be so confused. Yeah, I honestly, like, I barely look at Discord nowadays. Like, usually I look at 2 group chats. I might post a dev stand-up and then I usually close Discord. Wait, okay, 0. Okay. Oh, it didn't even refresh? Also, I will say, I really miss video games right now. I haven't played in so long. I want to play Marathon and Arc Raiders so badly. Okay, so we set it to 1. Okay, saved, and now let's try it again. If it's 1, if the value is 1, what? Even this value is set to... So... I'm convinced that settings will just never work. It's just like, right now it's a complete black box. Oh my god, I love the French. You can, but if I'm going to be honest, will I use it? Probably not. You can send it. I'm curious to see what you have, but I'm not replacing what I have. Especially when the system was working at some point. I just need to figure out at what point did I break it. Okay, I'm going to do another test. So I'm wondering if it can't save primitives. Could that be it? Why? Okay, why would it not be allowed to save primitives? Okay, we're gonna make this one a custom struct. Or is this being called by something? Handle revert default. Ten out of 10 debugging skills I have. Okay, where is my Sparky? Okay, so they're both 0. And they're both 1 now. This will give us the answer. Is it not saying saving primitives? Or is it just not saving in general? I guess I'm just gonna let it run. I should have added logging for when I save, so I know if it actually does it. Also, like, my save system isn't broken, it's just something isn't getting serialized properly. I just don't know what. But this should hopefully tell us if it's false 0, 0, then I'm gonna cry again. Even though I didn't do it last time. Okay, so they're both false, so none of them are saving. So then how is the rest of the game saving? That's my question. Atomic data. I wonder if it's this instance that's broken. So I wonder if it's trying to access a data too early? Well, this happens at the localization part, which does happen pretty early. Well, I guess it's the same thing. This is not nullable. Okay, actually, let's try another thing. Actually, we can try this. Does this beaten game producer flag work? I'm pretty sure this does save. So, okay, so that means it has settings is broken somehow. Okay, another experiment we can try. It has to be the language service, or the localization service. This has to be bad. Okay, here we go. Wait. No? All of these IDs are the same. Yeah, this is all the localization services pointing to... Okay, so build object and then 6. Build object. But when does this get called? Sparky offline. Build object. Sparky main. Okay, I guess another thing I can check is the serialized data itself. Okay. Okay, here we go. Look at that. We have a different ID. So the loaded data is different than what this is. Because we haven't registered yet. Wait, core data... Yeah, so it's... So when we set the core data is set... Okay, so it's not... I don't think it's my save problem at all. It's... Something is accessing this unique ID before here. Well, I guess when we load, it's going to have a brand new ID, so that makes sense. Okay, so maybe that's not the problem at all. What do I know? Okay, so all of my producers have the value as underscore, so that's correct. So settings, we have UI frame rate mode value of 3. What's that? Wait, no, that's... Wait, these are all null. It's like, why do these not have values? See, these all have values. So that's when save, load. So that's what happens when we load. Oh, shoot, that's a lot of... Okay, and this is the save JSON. So it's the same. This is what it's saving as. And value 3... Actually, I need to change the value. Let's give that a try. So I think 3... Yeah, that's 30 FPS. 30 FPS. 30? No, it's... Wait, hold on. What? UI frame rate mode is value 3, which is 60 FPS. Holy shit, what the f... Oh. I was like, why am I getting 10,000 FPS? Okay, so if I switch this to 144... Okay, so I let it save. Okay, so set target frame rate to 144 based on settings. So our JSON should have that value set. Oops. It's still 3. So it's not even saving. Okay. So... Okay, so what if we grab the unique ID straight from the object itself? And not that it really matters because it's not saving anything anyways. Well, maybe it does, 'cause for some reason it's not including... So if I just set a bunch of random garbage data... Yeah, so none of these are being set still. Beaten game? Okay, why is this an empty state? Okay, so the beaten game is a producer. Okay. Gold does not have a value here either. So if it's 0, is it just empty? Like, why is it doing that? Forgot it's really windy outside. Ah! Could this be it? I don't know if that's... Maybe my serializer settings are really broken. Okay, here we go. This looks more full. Okay, we have values in here. Well, it still says 0, so that doesn't really mean anything. So, like, yeah, all of these are still 0. Oh, wait, look at this. The settings data unique ID is different than what the instance is. I should have seen that like 200 million years ago, and I would have known exactly what the problem was. Okay, first of all, we gotta figure out why these are different. So maybe instead of fetching them from the data dispatcher, I should be getting it from the core data. Okay, so if the settings are not registering, okay, so we register this. Let's try that, I guess. I guess we can try. It doesn't hurt. Wows. Okay. Okay, so now the IDs match. Look at that. Hold on. Okay, I think this has to work now, right? Has to. Okay, we have our padding result. Let's take a quick glance at the settings. Okay, it looks like it's still set to 0. And I changed the frame rate. Yeah, it's still not going to save, regardless of... Nope. Classic. Okay, so now I think they're both pointing to the wrong one. Oh, wait. If I open this... Yeah, there's still... Okay, so it's still the same ID, but what if I go to save? And then... Do these even match? This is such annoying a problem to solve because I'm not really gaining anything out of this. I'm fixing settings, which you really look at once or twice. And I'm spending hours trying to fix settings. Okay. So the ID here, okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh look, we have mismatch. So the core data and the data manager is different than what the... They're both different. That's so screwed. So that means this is wrong? So when I load the data, it registers. Worth a shot, I guess. So we register core data once? That sounds correct. I need to get rid of these guys. Okay, so here we're still different. Registering setting data. Okay, so these are still different too. Well, maybe, okay, when I access the instance unique ID, they should be the same. Instance, oh wait, I'm pointing to the wrong, hold on, what? Wait, huh? Oh, it's because I'm pointing to the instance, that's why. What about this instance? Still gonna be different, but... Okay, that looks good. Okay, if I don't get anything, it returns new. That's not good. I don't think I want that. And holy cow, this song is interesting. comes from core, Considera core. Okay. Yeah, so this isn't even returning null, but if... Instead, it tries to return a new object, so I'm wondering if that's what it's doing. It's trying to access before it's actually registered. Because before, it was just returning this stupid... Oh, wait, that changed. Default T? That's not what I wanted. I wanted null. Does that look the same? Definitely doesn't to me. Maybe. Maybe they are. No, because Unity has weird behaviors with static constructors. If you have one, it tries to load whenever you load the scene or whenever you refresh the game. So it calls it way too early. It's like not even ready at that point. But I don't understand is that I say, okay, I want this to be either data2st or null, not whatever the fuck it just did. Oh, here we go. What the heck? That was so weird. It was like generating still. Okay, so that's good. Now this will finally return null as intended. So I think I could try putting this back. And then for core data, I'm no longer returning a default instance every time. So it shouldn't get out of sync anymore. If it's undefined or null, then it should throw an exception. Play. No, it's really hard to detach from Unity, honestly. Because if you want to use it in Unity, you gotta somehow not undetach it. Oh, look at, here we go. This is the problem. Right here. Okay, Sparky main awake. Get instance new. Wait a minute, I see it right here. It's trying to access the padding receiver. I forgot about that. Let's just set that. So it kept reset. No wonder why settings data could not freaking save. Bro. Oh, it's this guy. It's the zoom. Okay, well, it's still bad that it's calling really early, because it's calling in the awake. This is not how it's supposed to be. I need to fix this really badly. I'll do it in a second. Okay, here we go. So now we're back into Considera land. Root view. Oh, I could actually just turn this into a property, a getter. So build post build absorber. So I need to move these until after. I don't even know why I do it that early. That's crazy. Okay, this should fix it. La Horde. Okay. Let's do this. Dang, it's still not ready? Okay, I guess data is still not ready at that point. Root view, build, post. And then it comes to Sparky main build. Okay, so it's still not ready at this point, so that makes sense. But this one should show up. I can't believe I didn't catch this sooner. This is ridiculous. This is gonna save me that's gonna freaking help me in the future. The fact that I didn't catch that the data dispatcher was returning a new data if it didn't exist, that's just crazy. I even made it nullable for a reason. For this exact reason. Failed to load core data. Get instance. Okay, it's this error again. Oh, wait, hold on. Data manager load. ID 7. Okay, so all of these logs are garbage and need to go. This too. Okay, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm almost there. And then I finally fixed my critical issue. in a matter of over 2 hours. Wait a minute, I just realized I don't have any errors. Okay, so let's give this a shot. It's still doing that switcheroo thing. I think I see data! Oh, this is so good! Did it work? Woo! Let's go. Only took over 2 fucking hours to get this to work. Okay, so now my checkboxes are the only thing that are not working right now. If I refresh the dialogue too, it works properly. Thank frick. And the checkboxes, I can fix that pretty easily, I think. That really hurt my hands when I did that skyrocket thing. Ouch. Okay, I don't have to print this garbage anymore. I can finally start cleaning up. Okay, wait, so that means the info dialog should be closed. Should be... Okay, that should not show up anymore. I totally missed that. Yes, it doesn't show up anymore. That is so big. It's huge. Okay, so that solves a lot of problems. I don't know how do you cross? How do you strike through? Oh, I think I know how actually. Where's it? Where's it? This. Oops. Fuck. Oh. Add back removed settings. Well, I'm working on that now. Oh, look at that. Look how screwed up my... What am I thinking here? Yeah, so all of the values were just wrong, but now it should work. influence, sensitive buttons. Look at that. See, even my method calls are backwards. They were all calling the wrong thing. How did I not see this before? Am I... Okay, that works. Handle, sensitive buttons, toggle glows, toggle toes. So I can probably... Wait, yeah, that's back to what it was. Okay, show information hub dialog on start. Wait, this is still enabled, disabled. Okay, good. That works. Sweet. Okay, let's test these settings. So first of all, we have the show influence prestige dialogues. We have that set to true. Okay, that's good. Now if I set this back to false, good. Okay, that setting works. And I would imagine Unity works because it's the exact same. All buttons are sensitive. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Okay. Okay, so now for the influence information hub on dialog start, if I just restart the game, it should. Oh, I don't even think I have it implemented. Actually. What the hell? Okay. Wait, did I just see the dialogue? Oh, yes, I closed it. Duh. Okay, that's good. So now I know that the settings are fixed, finally. That really solves a few problems. And still in review, which sucks because I really do not feel like this is going to be released tomorrow. I hate this review process, especially since I've been with this account for so long. It feels like I would have at least, I would get verified or something. I can get some of this review stuff faster, but it's not how it works. Okay. So I'm gonna stop streaming for now because I need to make dinner and it's getting a little late and I just want to take a break. I may or may not live stream after this. It really depends on how I feel. Because dinner will take a little bit, so it'll be a little bit of a break, so I'll see how it feels. But yeah. Anyways, also I just read, I don't know if you're still here, Creeper King, but you said marathon question mark? What's wrong with marathon? Do you have something against marathon? If you're still here. Oh wait, 1 second. Okay, yes, I agree. Bungie is very bad. Nobody likes Bungie, but Marathon is a pretty fun game, I will say. And I honestly really enjoy it far more than Arc Raiders. Yes, deleting paid content is awful. It's evil. I wish I still had Shadow. Um, what was it called? It was red themed. It was Shadow something. D2 Shadow. And also, I did not like the fact that they changed the complete introduction of the game. Shadowkeep, yes. Yeah, I remember buying those, and now I don't own them anymore. That's why I don't play it. Yes, Bungie is very bad, but Marathon, I think, is a pretty good game. I think they did a great job making it. I really like the progression and how it feels. It feels a lot more difficult than Arc Raiders, which I appreciate the challenge. Um, Arc Raiders is just better for casual play. Everyone in Arc Raiders is really competitive and mean, so you kind of have to, be on top of it, and you kind of have to do good. um, yeah, Bungie bad. Marathon is good though. I stand by that, and I'm a Destiny hater. So, well, Destiny hater now because of Bungie, not because of the game itself, but anyways, I'm out of here. I'm hungry and I want to make dinner. So, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next